Hey, Dragon Folk. So we're gonna try and keep this short and sweet in regards to what it is we're actually talking about today. So what I'm trying, what I'm seeing, I'm seeing a lot of this stuff, right? I'm not sure whether or not I'll have posted. It's probably the next video. If I no, I posted it in the TCG updates already, right? You guys will have to tell me anyway. So people are upset. Again, we are back at the same roundabout situation in which people are upset. And the reason they're upset is because of the Beetle and Grimm Here Be Dragons Secret Lair. So we've gone over the fact that the Secret Lair is limited to 10,000 units, right? 10,000 units, that's it. If you didn't get in on it, the Secret Lair launched on the 13th of June, and it launched at 10 a.m. CST, and it stopped being sold right around like 2. It sold out right around at 2 o'clock, I should say, because it did sell out, because there were only 10,000 available. So what needs to be said here is this. I see a lot of groups on Facebook are talking about it. A lot of groups on YouTube are talking about it. And I kind of wanted to give everybody a real a life lesson here, I guess, right? And it's gonna sound like I'm some kind of greedy jackass, right? And I don't want to come off as that. I truly have good intentions for these things. And more importantly, the information that I hope to give you is a good intention. So the Here Be Dragons Secret Lair, which came with 7 foil showcase monster manual showcase versions of the dragons from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, not from Baldur's Gate, but Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. It came with foil showcase versions of them, which were not printed in Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. It also came with 100 sleeves with the showcase Inferno of the Star Mounts on the back of it. It came with a life counter, and that life counter had 45 life on it. It was a little tiny like dragon spin thing, almost looked like a mini. Then there was the deck box that it came with, and the deck box was a scale. It had a scale deck box, like a black dragon scale almost, and the Beetle and Grimm logo on the front. And then also inside said deck box, apparently there is some kind of secret that only the owner will know about. So when I saw that, I bought 2, right? Now, I kind of want to make this, like I said, short and sweet, but I want to go over the details of how the drop went. The drop launched, or is supposed to launch at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you weren't paying attention, you knew that it was starting at 11. But if you went onto the Beetle and Grimm website the morning before, or I think it was the night before, I don't remember when I got the email or when I actually went onto the website to look. But essentially what had occurred is if you signed up for the Beetle and Grimm newsletter, you got access to early access of the drop. Now, I didn't know how early access was going to be. I assumed like 15 minutes, maybe something like that. But I was given an additional hour earlier than everybody else who didn't sign up for this to purchase the Secret Lair that there were only 10,000 units for. I don't know how clear that was on their website, but I found it, right? I signed up for it. I didn't look at it. I'm sure there was a Reddit post somewhere. I'm sure somebody in some Magic the Gathering Discord linked it to people. But that's regardless of the discussion, right? I was able to get my hands on 2 of them. And the Secret Lair actually was available, like I said, for 4 hours. So roughly from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. CST was about how long it stayed up, right? Because after those 4 hours, it all sold out. Now, the problem here is that everybody is upset because how could they consider this a Secret Lair? And how could they only limit it to 10,000 units? Because one, a Secret Lair should be like all the other Secret Lairs, right? Where you have until like the end of the month or like until they're done with pre-orders, and then you'll get it sent out. And you can just do that any day. I mean, you get like a 30-day window or whatever, like to do this, right? And you pre-order it in foil or non-foil, and you wait until they eventually ship it out, right? Now, that is the Secret Lair way, and it's been that way for a little while now. And instead of doing that with the Secret Lair, they decided, hey, we're going to make it very limited, right? We're partnering up with Beetle and Grimm, and their whole thing for making accessories for Magic the Gathering and even just Dungeons and Dragons themed tabletop stuff. So they teamed up with them for this Secret Lair drop. The problem seems to be, again, the FOMO really sets in, I guess. But not really FOMO. It's more like AOMO. AOMO. Because a lot of people are upset and angry. And they're angry because how could Wizards release a product that is supposed to be a Secret Lair and only have 10,000 units, right? How could they do that? Well, I hate to break it to everybody, and this is where the bold truth is going to be. And of course, I may get flamed for it in the comments. I might not. It is a collector item. If any collector sees anything in a game or a collectible that they are collecting, and they say like a month in advance is when this was announced that the collectible will only have 10,000 units, right? What do you think? As a collector, what do you think you're going to do, right? Are you going to go, maybe I'll get it, right? If I happen to be not doing anything, maybe I'll get it. Or, no, I'll pass on this one. I don't want to worry about it. I don't like the cards that come in it, and I don't like the deck box that it comes in. No. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna buy it, right? So there's already a lot of eyes on this thing, and a lot of people, collectors specifically, want this set, right? They want this Secret Lair. And I don't think that a single player should have bought this Secret Lair. And it's for two reasons, right? One, I believe players should be very budget. This Secret Lair costs $125 plus $25 shipping for myself. So $150, and I bought two. That's 3 times the price of a foil Secret Lair on the Wizards website. So just keep that in mind for this. Then you also have the fact that players shouldn't be buying Secret Lairs. If you are a player, right, and you start being a player, like you're brand new to Magic, and you missed out on this thing, right? You shouldn't be upset you missed out on it. You're a player. You're just trying to get you're getting the cards. You know, you're going to your locals. You're going to your friend's house. You're testing decks, so on and so forth. You don't need high rarity stuff. Not to mention that the rarity that these dragons were also printed in, not everybody, because I like them. Most people hated them. I'll put up a picture right here, right? Show you what I don't know, old Gnawbone looks like, right? Or Tiamat. We'll do Tiamat. Tiamat will go right here. So you'll see that Tiamat in the showcase art for the Secret Lair is just the basic, what most people consider to be leather-bound art, right? With its own little backing and so on and so forth, and it just looks like it's hand-drawn stuff, right? And then you look at the borderless art for it. Now, the borderless art is available to everybody, and I believe AFR just went out of print. I don't quite recall. I think it's coming to be out of print if it isn't already. And even still, it was either a not very much open set, which means nobody liked the set enough to keep opening it. So therefore, why does anybody care, right? Then, to top it all off, like I said, nobody liked the showcase stuff. Those leather-bound Monster Manual arts, not a lot of people liked them. And that was, that was a big letdown. I mean, you can buy the entirety of every showcase card in foil on TCGPlayer for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, not for Baldur's Gate, for Adventures in the Forgotten Realms for under $50. And that's like a lot of cards. So, not many people liked it. Not many people liked it. So, as a collector, we have a different, there's a different outlook, right? My stance on this, and I'm at a weird spectrum, right? On one hand, I am a budget player, right? If I buy cards to put into a deck, I buy them lightly played, maybe even moderately played if they're really expensive. I buy them non-foil unless they come in foil. I think the only time I'll buy a card for play in max rarity is for Commander, if I'm going to get my Commander to be max rarity. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I could at least keep it in a top loader if I really wanted to. But on the other hand here, I'm also a collector, right? I like collecting the higher end versions of cards because, one, I like looking at them, and two, I know that they have value. Most of them have value. But at the end of the day, as a collector, when I see something has 10,000 units a month in advance, and I find out the date that it's going to be released on, I'll go as far as to take a day off of work. If I can't get it done at work, I don't know, I'll get some of my friends to who might not be working the same shifts I am to go online and order it for me. Something of the sort. Like, there are people who will really, really dedicated to getting these sets, to getting these collector pieces. And that's what being a collector is about, So it's the same people who get these limited things that only like 10,000 of them exist, or, only 5,000 of these things exist. It's these same people who get upset at this are the same people who get upset at the reserve list, right? The reserved list, everybody knows, is a collector's dream, right? There are a list of cards that will never be reprinted, and they will go down in history. They're already almost, anywhere from like 30 to, they're almost anywhere from like 20 to 30 years old, these cards. So they're already like relics, essentially. So when you think about that, it's the same people, right? The people who don't like the reserve list are the same people who get upset when there's limited content available, or limited product available, because they want every card to be like under $5, right? That every card is under $5, and that's the whole thing. And I'm all for, I want to be inclusive, right? I want to be inclusive when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I really want to showcase that everybody should have an option to do these things. But everybody does have several different options. If you're playing with a play group at home, or you're playing kitchen sink with a bunch of friends, hell, even if you're just playing kitchen sink with people at an LGS, you can proxy cards that are super expensive. Most places aren't doing vintage tournaments. They're not doing, you know, they're not doing legacy tournaments. And if you want to be a part of that, you have to pay the price, but that's just like, there's so many other things you can do with your money. Like, seriously, I would rather, put a down payment on a house than buy a Black Lotus. But that's just because, like, the prices are right around the same, you know what I mean? So, really determining whether or not you're a player or a collector, I see a lot of people who are players who see these secret lairs and see these limited products and even the reserve list, and they go, I really want to play in those formats, or I really want to play with those cards, but I wasn't fast enough to get them. Or like, I missed out on getting them because I was too busy doing something else. And if that's the case, like, it sucks, right? That's what we have the secondary market for. And yeah, right, are people flipping the Beetle and Grimm Here Be Dragons Secret Lair already? Yes, right? Like I said, it was $125 per Secret Lair. People are selling it for like $400. Is that highway robbery? I mean, yeah, but there's only 10,000 available, right? You know what else is a limited product that I don't think too many people got upset about? The Mythic editions of War of the Spark and Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Allegiance. Those are all limited things too. And those are cheap. I mean, they're right around the same price. But like, these are things, right? These are limited products that are available to people. And on the backs of this, right, on the backs of this limited Secret Lair, Wizards of the Coast is releasing another limited Secret Rare for their 30th anniversary. So in late October, they're doing the World Championship in Vegas, right? So they're doing the World Championship in Vegas, and during that time, you have to buy a ticket to attend the event. It's like $75 for one day at the actual event, or it's $30 if you buy a digital ticket, right? The kicker for this is that you have to buy a ticket to get into the event. And then while you're at the event, digital or in person, I'm not actually sure whether or not you're able to buy them in both, you'll be able to buy specific product from Worlds. And one of those products that they're going to be releasing is a Secret Lair, which means there will be another Secret Lair that is limited and only able to be purchased between October 28th and October 30th. And you have to pay a ticket price to get in, and then you have to pay for the Secret Lair. So who knows what that one's going to be going for, right? If it's limited to only that weekend, come on. Like, yeah, you're probably going to have a lot more than 10,000 people buy it, but as a thing, you know? If you're truly trying to be a collector and you're upset you missed out on the Here Be Dragons Secret Lair, buy it on the secondary market. You missed the boat, but you can still own the product. And honestly, $400, if anything is limited $10,000 and it's, or 10,000 units, and it's going for $400 right now, if you're planning on collecting anyway, just don't buy a collector box, right? Don't buy Double Masters 2022, or don't buy that Commander Legends 2 Battle for Baldur's Gate collector box, right? Save up and instead buy that Secret Lair. And if that's what you really want, then now it's part of your collection. Secret Lairs are now notoriously set for collectors, right? I don't know how many more they're going to be doing that are like limited, like the Here Be Dragons and the World Championship Secret Lair. But regardless, even if you even if you're just a regular collector, the actual secret layers and the super drops that they give out, those should also be part of your collection. You should also be collecting those. It's just, we don't know whether or not they're going to reprint secret layers, right? Unless they specifically tell us they're going to reprint secret layers, then we don't know, right? We're not sure. And frankly, unless it specifically says something along the lines like it did with the Beetle and Grimm one, where it says you have 10,000 units and that's it, that's a limited product that every collector who even cares about collecting Magic the Gathering should have looked into. And if you're a collector and you missed the boat because you had to work that day, or you had to, you didn't have access to the internet, we all have access to the internet. Most of us who even have, let's be honest, if you have the money for a phone, right? I'm not talking like, a track phone or something, right? This is starting to sound like I'm some kind of like money-brained fool, like peasants below me kind of deal. Listen, I'm not middle class. I'm not even upper class. I'm way down there, right? But I was able to purchase 2 of them, and I expected them to be gone much sooner. I expected to not get any. I purchased mine at 10:05 in the morning, the Here Be Dragon Secret Lair. 10:05, I purchased them, and I expected them to be gone. Gone. And they were live. They were there 4 hours later. Well, 3 hours later they were there. So 3 hours later, that gives so many people time to do this. If you just forgot, Beetle and Grimm sent out emails. People got emails, and the whole thing, like, you had to have known about it, right? So you couldn't tell me that you were just like, oh, I just didn't know. I had no idea. Like, you gotta, if you're actually a collector, you gotta pay attention to these kind of things, because they just happened, right? Follow MTG on all its social medias, on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, and you'll learn about all these things. And hopefully you won't miss the next one. But the big difference here is that I see a lot of players complaining about this, right? A lot of players are upset that they didn't get a chance to get into the Secret Lair. If you just play, and I know that the difference between a player and collector, very thin, right? Because once you start playing, you're gonna become a collector. It just happens. It happens. It happened to me. It'll happen to you. The only way it won't ever happen is if you only play Arena, and then you won't need to worry about collecting anything. But you will become a collector. And when the time comes that you get the financial, wealth to buy things like expensive versions of cards or collectibles such as the Secret Lairs, or limited product like the Mythic editions from Guilds of Ravnica, these will be products that, while they're still fairly new, will go for a lot of money if you keep them sealed. Now, I'm going to open one of those Here Be Dragons Secret Lairs here on the channel. So that's why I bought 2. I bought 1 to open and 1 to keep sealed. And that's how I plan to do it. And the reason being is because, 1, I wanted to see why. I want to see what's in there, right? If they didn't tell me that there was a special secret in the deck box thing, I wouldn't worry about it. And I might even just wait until somebody else opens it for me to see what's in there and then open it. But if you guys want to see me open it, we got to hit higher subscriber numbers, right? Let's hit, if we hit, I don't know, 500 subscribers. I know I'm not even at 100 yet. If we hit 500 subscribers, I'll open it. Absolutely. Not that this is going to hit 500 people, but you know the idea. So yeah, that's my thought on Secret Lairs, and specifically the Beetle and Grimm stuff, right? Everybody seems to be upset, and a lot of people, the people who are upset about the Beetle and Grimm thing being so expensive and being so limited, are the same people who are upset about the reserved list. Oh, you know what? I did forget to talk about one thing. I'm not quite done. The other issue that people are seeing with the Beetle and Grimm Secret Lair, which I also think is kind of an issue, but not terrible, is that you could order them in quantities of 10. So you didn't just have to buy one, or you weren't limited to just one per like email or something, or one per account. You could buy 10 of them. Which means that if you wanted to buy 10, you could have just spent an easy, what is that, $1,500? Well, it's really probably like $1,300. And you could have gotten 10 of them, right? I don't have $1,300, so I wasn't going to do that. But some people do, especially collectors who are looking to get positions, right? You look all over YouTube. There's tons of people with tons of money that they will spend it on Magic the Gathering, and this is a product that you had to get. You had to get. It's the same deal. I'll be buying a $30 ticket so I can buy that Secret Lair from Worlds, because it's a collector's item. It'll only be available from October 28th to the 30th, and then nobody will be able to get any more. And the only way you'll be able to get it is on the secondary market, and I'm not about to pay 3 to 4 times the price of the product if I can get it for the base price. You know what I mean? It's the same deal with Commander Precons, right? Party Time on TCGPlayer, I think, is going for like $56 or something right now. Why? Why don't you just go to your LCS and buy it for 42 or 44? You literally will get it for cheaper. Like, you got to look for deals, especially if you're a collector. You have to look for deals. And if you can be there first, that's the biggest part of being a collector, is being able to get there first. I got into Magic way too late. I was only a year old when Magic came out, so I had nothing. And even towards the 2000s, the early 2000s, I was lucky enough to get into Yu-Gi-Oh when it started. No, I couldn't do anything with Magic. You know what I mean? But I digress, right? If I was there, right? If I had a time machine, I'd go back in time and I'd buy Alpha. You know what I mean? Just so I could be a part of it. But I know better. And I know now, right? If I want to be a part of something that is truly collectible, I need to purchase those things, right? When the Secret Lairs go on sale, I think like towards the end of the month or something, they sometimes are like half off for the whole bundle. Buy them, right? Half off. That's like $150 for 10 Secret Lairs, something like that. Like, you can't pass up deals, right? You just can't. You can't pass them up. So hopefully this has been an understanding of how I feel. I do want to have a genuine discussion about these things. So, like, feel free, whatever your opinion is, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's, I don't know. Like I said, I want to be as inclusive as possible. And I want to do a lot to give back to the community when it comes to things. But I also know that this isn't like the Pokemon situation of 2021, right? Where every Pokemon set was being ripped from the shelves as soon as the store opened. And people were getting so incredibly greedy that they'd take it and they'd flip it, right? They'd take the cards, they'd flip the cards online, and then they'd make a huge amount of profit. This isn't what that is. You know, are people taking it and flipping it? Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, there's going to be flippers. There's going to be people who do that. But for a collector, you're going to be making more money in the long run keeping it sealed and waiting 10 years. In 10 years, that very well could go for way more than $400, or it could not. It could stay at 400. It could go down, right? Who knows? Who knows with these things, right? If there's one thing everybody knows is that if you really want to be safe about your card investing, invest in the reserve list, because they're not going to get rid of that thing, and it's just a collector's dream, like I had said. Anyway, this has gone on for far too long already. I didn't want to make this over 30 minutes, but I like to rant. You guys know I like to rant. So, yeah. I'm happy that I was able to get 2 Here Be Dragon Secret Lairs. I feel sorry for anybody who wasn't able to get one, but if you were able to get one, congratulations. You are the holder of a very, very rare piece of Magic the Gathering's history, and it will be worth something as long as you keep it in good condition, better sealed. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this content of me just essentially rambling, please leave a comment down below. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel as well while you're at it. You know, like I said, we get to 500 subscribers. If it turns out that something super crazy is in these secret lairs, I'll open one. But at 500 subscribers, I'll open it anyway. Just because, but probably by the time we get 500 subscribers, it'll be like a nice, like, from the past situation, you know. I also have to wait until, you know, August, September to open it. So we got to wait anyway. But again, thank you all so much. And yeah, make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. Please, please, please have a fantastic rest of your day. And I will see you all in the next video. All right, everybody. Nerd out.